What's going on, team? Sherjan here, your personal mentor. So when I was in investment banking, as an analyst especially, you would get a lot of projects and a lot of times you would get a big stack of comments. What comments would mean is like, let's say you're working on a deal or some sort of presentation or an assignment or any project, for example. You would get like comments from the senior people on the deal, on the deck, on the roadshow materials or any of that stuff. And these comments could be simple comments like, hey, change the title of this slide to something else, or align a logo this way versus that way, or update the model, and more complex things like, hey, let's refresh all the models here, all the analysis here, let's add a brand new analysis, any of that stuff. So things could be very simple, like I said, like simple text edits and logo moving, and some things could be pretty complex and take a long time. The hard part was whenever like some senior person would come to you, they would be like, hey, can you turn these comments? When can I have them by? Right? So every time a senior person will come to you, an associate or a VP or a managing director, that's going to be what they want to know. When can I have this by? Now, usually, as an analyst or an intern, you would be like, oh, I can get this done pretty quickly. Now, that's not specific enough. So when an MD or a senior person comes and asks you, hey, when can I have this by? They are actually asking you specifically, when can you give them the updated version? So for you to become better at accurately forecasting how much time it will take you will make you a better analyst or a summer intern and will make you a better team member. So in this video, I want to tell you exactly how I did it when I was an investment banking analyst and how I met most of my deadlines, not all of my deadlines. Ali can talk about that, who was my associate back then, or a VP actually. But anyways, in this video, I'll talk about exactly how to do that. All right, so you're an investment banking analyst or you're a consultant or you're an accountant and you're a junior person in the team and you have a set of comments that have landed on your desk. So I'm using this set of papers that are empty, there's nothing on it, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. So like I mentioned, there's gonna be some comments you'll get or fixes that you need to make which are simple. So text edits, logo alignment, simple things like that. Some would be more medium things, for example, like, hey, let's create a new team page, or let's create a new graphic that won't take you too long, or let's put in a new chart showing the data that we have. And some might be actually brand new stuff, pretty complex, pretty detailed, a brand new analysis, updating a model, updating some detailed financial aspects or of a company, or any of that stuff. So there's variations of stuff you'll get. So what I want you to do is anytime you get comments from someone and they're going to ask you that question, when can I have it by? Always reply by saying, hey Jenny, give me a few minutes, let me come back to you, let me look at what you've provided me, what are the comments here, and then let me give you an estimate, a more accurate estimate. Is that okay? Now what that's gonna do is they're gonna be like, yeah, that's fine, totally fine, come back to me in a few minutes, right? What that does to you is gives you time to actually review what's in there. Because it could be like 10 pages of detailed analysis and you're gonna be stuck there for 3 days. Or it could be literally 5 seconds of text edits and it will only take you literally 5 to 10 seconds to fix it. So before you even look at the deck, always tell them, hey, give me a few minutes, let me just go through what you've given me, and I'll come back to you with a much more accurate forecast. Now, that's a great thing. These people who are the senior people, they want accuracy in their work. They want to basically make sure that, hey, you stick by the deadlines and you meet those. All right, so now that you've said that, what I want you to do is I want you to go page by page and look at what the comments are. So let's say you go to the first page. The first page is simple. It's like, hey, update the text, right? So edit the text, update the text, or something simple. If it's something simple, just put down a number in the top right corner. And what I want you to do in terms of top right corner, I want you to use these things. So if it's a simple edit, put in 5. So that's a 5 minute, right? Or in my opinion, put in 10 minutes. So for example, if it's something simple, let's just put in 10 minutes. So put in a 10 at the top right corner of that page. Now let's go to the next page. Next page is, somewhat in the middle. It's not too easy, but it's not too complex. Let's just say it's a team page. You got to create a team page, meaning you have to put in the photos of like 6 of the senior people that are working on this deal, and you want to put it on the team page, or you need to create a table of competitors, for example, which is a bunch of logos that you're putting on a chart or on some sort of table, or a heat map, sometimes it's called. Let's just say it's one of those medium complexity things. We'll put the number 30. So 30 minutes is going to be the amount of time it'll take you to do that. So on that page, you put in a 30. So easy things, you put in a 10. Medium complexity things, you put in a 30, right? Now it comes up to something more complex. Let's just say it's like, hey, we need to do a model. We need to do a new type of analysis. Now, depending on how complex that analysis is, sometimes it may take you an hour, or sometimes it may take you 3 hours, depending on how much work is required. So you be the judge of that. But generally speaking, something that's complex, at a minimum will take you at least 60 minutes, right? So put in either a 60 or whatever else you need. So maybe it's 120 for 2 hours, or 180 for 3 hours, or maybe even more. Maybe it's 300 because you need to build a brand new model from scratch. So those are the complex things, and complex things can vary a lot depending on what you need to do. But anyways, once you've gone through the entire deck, every page has a number on it. It's either 10 for easy things, 30 for medium level things, and 60 or more, 60, 120, 180, whatever, 200, 300 minutes of something that's more complex. Now what I want you to do is take all of those numbers and add them up. So let's say you add a bunch of 10s, you'll probably have in a deck of, let's just say 50 pages, probably 25 of them are simple edits, 10-minute edits. So 250 minutes of simple edits. Maybe there's like 10 medium-sized edits, so that means 10 30-minute edits at 300 minutes. So you're above 550 already, let's just say, or above 500 minutes already. And then maybe there's like a couple of pages of really complex edits which may take you 200 minutes each. So let's just say 400 minutes there. So if you add all of that up, let's assume you get to 1,000 minutes, right? Now 1,000 minutes divided by 60, whatever you get, my math isn't that good. So let's just say it's 15, 16 hours. Is that right? Let's just do the math right now. So 1,000 minutes divided by 60, 16.6 hours. All right, perfect. Let's just say it's 15 hours. Let's keep the math simple for now. So it's gonna take you 15 hours if your forecasting is correct to complete this deck. But I don't want you to tell the senior person that's gonna take you 15 hours, right? What I want you to do first is I want you to take that time, the 15 hours, and I want you to multiply that by 1.5. So give yourself a 50% buffer, right? That's important, very, very important, because remember, mostly forecasts are pretty wrong. They're pretty off because you don't take into account all the other stuff, all the other moving pieces you may need. Like you may need to go get new data. You may need to chase some other folks that might be on the other side of the world in a different office, and you might need to get some information from them. You might need some information from a client, which obviously is not in your office. So all those things can actually take additional time. And to forecast that, the best way to do it is just multiply whatever number you came up with, the 15 hours, multiply that by 1.5. So multiply 15 hours by 1.5, you end up with 22.5 hours, right? So let's just keep it simple. Let's just say, hey, you need about 23 hours to get this done. Now, you're not gonna work 23 hours straight to get this done. You might be getting these comments at 6 p.m. one day. So you can't be like, hey, Bob, or hey, Jenny, I'll give you this in 24 hours from now. I'll give it to you by 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's not gonna work. So what I want you to do is really think about where you are, how much time you have that day, then think about how much time you'll have the next day. Generally speaking, you'll have about 18 hours per day of potential work that you can put in. Most likely it'll probably be around 15 hours, not 18 hours. So let's just say it's 15 hours. So let's say today you have 6 hours of work that you can put in. Tomorrow you can put 15 hours in it. So why don't you say, reach out to Jenny, call her up or send her a note. Actually, in my opinion, call her up would be a better way and be like, hey Jenny, I've gone through the deck. There's a bunch of things that need to get done. A lot of them are pretty, fairly straightforward, but there's some items that are actually gonna take more time, and here's why. It could be like, hey, there's a detailed analysis that I gotta do. I gotta refresh new data. I need to get more information from third parties, which I've already put in the request for. But all in all, if today is a Monday, I can get this to you by Wednesday, end of day, right? And just give her a timeline like that, which basically gives you that safety buffer as well, the 1.5 that I talked about. Anyways, that's the video for today, guys. Hopefully you can use it in your own assignments that you get on your own projects and stuff. And not only is it gonna make you, meet more deadlines, it's also gonna make you more efficient in terms of how to, manage all that stuff. And I'll do another video in a bit in terms of how can you parallel process a lot of this work as well, and how I did it in investment banking, which saved me literally days off my schedule on a weekly basis. But anyways, hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this makes you better at accurately forecasting what needs to get done. And hopefully your seniors love the fact that you're always on time, or at least before the deadline, and you provide them with a much better forecast of when you're gonna finish these projects. Anyways, good luck. Thanks.